Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. Happy holidays to you again. Now if you've been to my channel or to my streams recently, you know that I have been saving up 6-star shards for several months now in hopes of duping an anti-venom or duping my null when the pool resets in just under 2 weeks here right after the new year. So I wanted to, just for fun, take a stab at predicting the rest of the pool today just to see again how close I can come to the real thing. Alright, so let's start off with the first group of champs, and that are the 6 champs that are guaranteed to be in the pool because they are the featured champs themselves. So we have, from the Cosmic class, Null, Cersei, and Icarus. It is a little bit strange that we're going to have 3 Cosmic champs in the featured champion pool. But, you know, that's just the way it works out. Anti-Venom, of course, Kitty Pryde for the mutant, last but not least, Nimrod. I think that 5 of these 6 champs are, like, really good. Everybody really except Icarus, so even if the rest of the pool is like hot trash, if you pull one of these 6 featured champs, you're probably going to be very happy with your pull. So that's kind of the first group. The second group I want to talk about are recently buffed champs. So typically Kabam will put in champs that recently received a buff into the 6-star featured pool following that buff so that players can have a chance to pull them and play around with them. So we had two champions buffed this kind of cycle. First one is Joe Fixit. Now, Joe Fixit was not in this current feature, but he was in the previous feature, I think. So I was kind of iffy on whether or not he would be included in this one. I still think he is. I actually went back over a year and tracked every 6-star featured pool. And there were a couple champs that were in multiple crystal pools over the course of a year. So I do think that Joe will still be in this pool. And the other champ that we got buffed recently is Hawkeye. So I think he will be in here as well. Now, the third group of champions that I kind of want to talk about are exclusive champs. I think this is the last 6-star featured hero crystal that is going to contain any number of exclusive 6-star champs, because as you guys know, over the past 6-8 months or a year, every time an exclusive 6-star has been added to the featured pool, following that featured crystal's run, that champ has been added to the basic pool. So I think in the current featured 6-star pool, we have champs like Medusa and Iceman. Following this crystal's run in January, those champs will be added to the basic 6-star hero pool. We do have a few exclusive champs remaining. The first one I want to talk about is a champ that I have been guessing or hoping and predicting that is going to be in this pool, and that's Hyperion. Hyperion has had a 6-star arena run. He's showed up in a few Cav crystals here and there. I do think he is going to be the last Cosmic champ in this pool, and then following this pool's run will be added to the basic 6-star pool. And the other ones are all in the Mystic class. So the first 2 are Dr. Voodoo and Ghost Rider. Dr. Voodoo, I think he had a Cav crystal run. I think he might have had an arena recently. I can't remember that off the top of my head. So I think both Voodoo and Ghost Rider will be added to this pool and then to the basic pool afterwards. And the last one, I'm kind of going out on a limb here with this one. So the last one is Scarlet Witch. Now, if you guys remember when Scarlet Witch, Sigil Witch, when she was announced as coming to the game, in that little in-game memo that we got, Kabam said that she would remain exclusive to Sigil owners for at least a period of 6 months. Now, we are past that 6-month mark, and there has been no word or no indication from Kabam in any way as to when or even if she's going to be made available to people who don't pay for the sigil. So I feel like this is a really good opportunity for them to make her available to the more wider community. We are long past the point at which sigil owners were able to obtain the 6-star version of her, and we're already a third of the way or so toward getting the dupe. I don't think, of course, she will be added to the basic pool afterward, but I think this is a good chance for her to be added for non-paying players. The fourth group is kind of everybody else, right? And I've tried my best to balance out the pool between really solid pools, champions that you might really need to pull twice, champions that are kind of ripe for a buff, and a couple duds, because let's face it, every pool is going to have the champs that you just want to scream when you pull. So let's go class by class here. So the last Mystic champ that I think is going to be in this pool is Thor Jane Foster. With Thor 4 coming out, not too far off. They could buff her within the next, next 3 months. As of it is right now, she's really not that desirable of a champion. So this is kind of one of those moves where they put her in here. You're upset that you pick her now, but maybe in 3 months, you're gonna be like, wow, she's really good. I'm glad that I pulled her up from that featured pool. So the 2 remaining science champs, I think, are going to be Thing and Captain America. So Thing is a champ that I feel like we haven't really heard much about in a long time. You really need the dupe for Thing. You need high sig for Thing. So this kind of entices players to go for him multiple times in the pool. Captain America, there was that note in this month's patch notes about him, I guess, being changed to Captain America Classic, and they added some visual effects changes to him, changed his portrait. Still don't know what any of that is going to look like. That maybe be setting things up for a buff, maybe, who knows. If not, he's a pretty crappy pull, so we'll call him a dud for now. Maybe he needs a lot of work to be a viable champion in this game, that's for sure. All right, for the skill class, so I think that the kind of good champ in this pool will be Mole Man. I kind of went back and forth between Mole Man and Aegon. Aegon hasn't been in a featured crystal in a long time. There's arguments for both. In the end, I just went with Mole Man. Agent Venom, again, another champion who is not far off from being pretty good. He's gotten some pretty decent synergies lately, and I think with a moderate overhaul, he could be a pretty good champion. So again, maybe I'm hoping for, I'm putting him in this pool hoping for a buff, but whatever. And then Elektra kind of sucks. She needs a massive overhaul. Not much else to say about her. For the mutants, I went with Sunspot and Namor and Nightcrawler. Sunspot, another champion that we haven't really been hearing much of in a while. He's kind of mostly fallen out of the prestige discussion too. Namor is a champion that is not only a very high prestige champ, he's also a champ that you want at max sig, ideally, just for his basic mechanics, not just for prestige. He hasn't been in a featured crystal either in a year's time, so I think this is a good opportunity to put another very solid mutant in here. I originally had Archangel in here, but Archangel had been in a featured crystal maybe two pools ago, so I ended up scratching him off and replacing him with Namor. And then just rounding out the class here with another mostly useless champ with Nightcrawler. So, all right, and last but not least is the tech class. So our sort of mostly usable champion is Darkhawk and Iron Man Infinity War. Neither of them have been in a featured pool in the last year. And then our kind of dud champ for the tech class is Red Skull. So there it is. There's kind of the 24 champions that I think are going to be in the featured pool. I'm guaranteed to be at least 25% right. Probably a little bit more than that, because I'm almost certain that these 2 buff champs are going to be in here as well. So let me know what you guys think of this pool. How right do you think I am? Let me know in the comments below. And hit like if you enjoyed this. Sub for more content later. And as always, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you again next time.